And I went up to her and we started talking. It was immediate. Her and I just clicked immediately. The girl I was, that turned me on into this business, first it was emeralds. She told me it was the emerald business. So I said, fine, emeralds.
How did this happen again? Like what you went to Georgetown? I want to make sure we have the full color here. You went to Georgetown, you ended up at University of Miami, you graduated. Right. You met this girl, it was at your birthday party right after college, is that right?
Actually, I was working at a radio station. When I came back to Miami, I started going to FIU. And I worked at a radio station called 96X. And that was back in 75. Now, I used to come across and buy 3-4 pounds of pot. Because I said, I got the perfect market. I got the DJs.
Yeah.
These guys smoke all the time. They love it. So I didn't have to go out of the station to sell my product. It was perfect business model. And I worked in the bookkeeping department.
What's up, everybody? If you are enjoying this episode, and I hope you are, please make sure you share it over on Instagram and tag me, whether it be a post or a story. You can tag me at Julian Dorey Podcast or even on my personal at Julian D. Dorey. And if you're not following me over there, please make sure you do that too. And I will make sure I repost that on my story. And also, if you are over on X, you can tag me at Julian D. Dorey, and I will repost that as soon as I see it. So thank you to all of you who have been sharing around the show. As always, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button on the video, and enjoy the rest of this one.
So these radio stations, their ratings were defined by the Nielsen books, Nielsen ratings back then. I don't know if they still are. So I'm working at the radio station. My best friend calls me and says, hey, I got these books in the mail. They want me to fill them out. They're radio books. And I said, you got what? Yeah, it says Nielsen on them. I go, you got the Nielsen books? I go to the station manager and I tell him, and he says, you got to be shitting me. And we were like number 10 in the market. So I talked to my friend and says, listen, the station manager, we have trades with furniture companies, rug companies, stereo companies. We're going to give you new furniture, new rugs, and stereos for your house. Sounds good. I told the station manager, you can keep all that. I want $5,000.
I got to invest this.
So this guy, 5 members of his family, because his mother was divorced and she had one last name and he had another last name and the husband had another last name. So, 5 books, different names. They fill them all out 24/7. They're listening to 96X from 6 a.m. and they have the radio on while they're sleeping too. So the ratings come out and 96X comes out to number 1. Boom. Cool. I got my $5,000. His mother was freaking out. He told her he won a radio contest and that's what they won. Sure enough, it didn't take long. The owner of the radio station was Cartel Broadcasting, owned by Charter Communications. They're on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Okay. So they come down from New York. That says there's been a fraud. And the FCC's looking to take our license away. And we believe this fraud initiated with Mr. Bookkeeper there, Mr. Navia. And I saw this shit coming down and I said, the FCC is going to come after my ass. So I left to Ecuador. I made excellent Ecuadorian friends in Georgetown. When I was in Georgetown, even today, my best friend is Ecuadorian.
So the Georgetown's like the Illuminati of Ecuadorians?
Oh, yeah. That was full of Ecuadorians. And boy, did we have a good time. To this day, these friends that I met in Georgetown are still my close, as they say in Ecuador, mi panas, to the heart. So
you had to flee from a radio station gig
imagine
over 5K.
This. Yeah. I fled to Ecuador. I stayed there for a month. Then I guess the FCC, we lost the license. This is crazy. 96X lost the license.
So what does that do to them?
Well, it wasn't a good one. It's a costly mistake there. you lose your radio license. So I came back to Miami after being in Ecuador for about 30, 45 days, and it's my birthday.
Wait, so you went to Ecuador because you thought maybe I'm going to get arrested for this?
Yeah, I thought the FCC
But then
was going to come
30 days,
down.
30 days later, you're like, I'm good, fam. I'm back.
No, they kept it under the rug. They lost their license. They fought it. A year they lost their license. But I came back because I said, well, I guess they're not coming after me. I can't live in Ecuador forever. So I came back. And my girlfriend from Key Biscayne throws me a birthday party.
Nice girlfriend.
Great girlfriend. I really feel bad about this, too. I'm sitting there on the couch. She had rented a house. Actually, she rented a house. The girls got together and rented a house, and the guys got together and rented a house on Key Biscayne for the summer. She rented a house. She was very good friends with Andy Garcia's wife, for example.
The actor.
They grew up on. She grew up on Key Biscayne, so she rented a house. I was sitting on the sofa, having a scotch on the rocks. Suddenly, in through the door walks this girl. She's nothing like anything I had seen before. She was definitely not a local Miami Cuban girl or Key Biscayne girl. She was like off the wall. You talk about beautiful, exotic, just sexy. She didn't wear bras. Back then, girls, nice Cuban girls all
Titties
wore a
out.
bra.
Yeah.
This girl had a beautiful silk dress, beautiful gold jewelry, emerald, nice gold Rolex, red. I go, and I'm like just starstruck.
And your girlfriend slapping you?
No, my girlfriend's out there trying to bake a cake or do the cake or talking to somebody else. And I look at this girl and she looks at me and she walks in with somebody else. This other guy just walks away and starts, talking to somebody else. And I went up to her and we started talking. It was immediate. Her and I just clicked immediately. After 20 minutes of talking, she says, "What are we doing here?" I says, "Well, it's my birthday." She says, "What are we doing here?" And I said, "You're right. Let's go." We hopped in her car. She had a black 745 BMW. This was 1978, 77. And we went to her apartment on Brickell. She had her own apartment. And she brought out bottles of champagne. We started drinking bottles of Haute Brion 1964.
That'll set you back.
And we just had an incredible time. If I thought I knew anything about sex before then, I was completely mistaken. Because that was a new world that was open to me. She was lovely, lovely lady, but exotic. And, I fell in love. But from then on, we stayed together. So,
and she was your bridge, right?
Well, after that, we partied for about 3 days. And then she said, "You know what? I have to go to San Francisco. Will you come with me?" I said, back then I was working at New England Mutual, the insurance company.
So you came back from Ecuador, you signed up with the insurance company.
Yeah,
now
my dad knew the owner of the insurance agency, and he signed me up. He says, "You got to give him a job." He's out of the radio business. So, sure, I'll go to San Francisco. Yeah, let's go. Let me go get... No, you don't need to get any clothes. We'll get the clothes when we get there. Sounds good. So we're on our way to San Francisco, and he said, "Well, this isn't the way to the airport." "No, we're not going to the Miami International Airport." We took off to Palm Beach, went to Butner Aviation, the private terminal, jumped on a Learjet, and...
Lolita Express with Epstein?
Yeah. We're on that Learjet. The champagne was already on board, on ice. We started drinking, snorting. We had an incredible time on that Learjet. And we got to San Francisco and we checked into the St. Francis. I think it was the St. Francis at that time. And days went by and days went by and, a month went by. And then I met some of the people that she sold the emeralds to.
She was claiming she was in the emerald business.
Yeah, in the emerald business. Right. And we went back to Miami. And we started living together. And then it was time to go to San Francisco again. And this time, I didn't know this, but they had sent, let's say, a load of emeralds. Mm. And when we got to San Francisco a few days later, they gave her a few suitcases and it contained like $6.5 million. And that's the emerald business. And I said, wow, that's a very interesting business. I think I like that business. Finally, she told me that it wasn't emeralds, that it was coke. And I remember we were sitting in she had rented or bought, her clients, she wanted a Mercedes. She wanted a Mercedes in San Francisco, and the clients she had said, that's not a good idea. That's too flashy. We'll just get you a regular American car. And they got her, back then there was a Chrysler car called the Magnum. Mm. And she wasn't too happy having a Magnum. She wanted it because she drove a BMW in Miami. We were in Sausalito, like a hillside overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. And because they gave us a Magnum car, we decided to buy a Magnum of champagne, Tattinger. Man, we popped that bottle and she told me, it's not really emeralds, it's cocaine. And I said, you know what? It's a lot better than anything else, and it sure beats rock and roll. So,
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.